Hey,
Hey,
happy summertime.
Chad, what episode is this, Chad?
Episode number 129.
That's nothing. That's nothing. I remember 128 like it was 2 days ago.
Yeah,
Oh, that's right. It was.
it was.
Yeah, how's everybody doing? You looking well? You all look refreshed and exercised by demons removed. I mean, and sorry, Eric added demons added.
Yeah, great.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
good.
I just
Feeling good in the neighborhood.
just ran an errand up to Chris Longwood's place, dropped him off a copy of the test pressing of the vinyl, which we just got last Thursday.
What vinyl?
The vinyl of Blagmatic.
Blagmatic. Good.
And the test
Good,
pressing
good.
showed up. I don't even know how far ahead of schedule, but they definitely showed up way sooner than I was expecting based on the timeline that they'd given us.
Yeah.
As we mentioned on previous shows, there's a huge backlog of vinyl all over the world right now. So they're trying to make their promises as conservative as possible, but it seems like Disc Makers is trying to speed up the process for us.
Maybe they're going alphabetically.
Yeah, right. Anyway, so we've all listened to it. It does sound really good. There's a little bit of a volume adjustment that it needs, but that's what Chris Longwood is looking into right now. He says, these things happen sometimes. He's cut records before himself, so he knows what can go wrong. And he says, I think he had a theory. I think maybe this went wrong. That possibly this went wrong, but it's something we can easily fix.
But Longwood, Christopher Longwood, being that he mastered the record, he has a close relationship to it. But also he works with disc makers, the people that are doing it. So he has a rapport and he has a line of communication open. So that should be lickety split and fixed. But So let me be the first to say, because I'm the highest, I want to just thank our crew that came to Omaha with us. Just such a fun time, and so much. Just you learn so much about people when you travel with them and when you hang out with them in strange and new towns and whatnot. But very, very fun, and the Nanias went above and beyond as far as the host and hostess and food and drink and history and layout of the land and just everything you can imagine. Travel Design Lounge. If you ever need travel agents to work on your stuff, Houston or anywhere around the world, Travel Design Lounge is your place. And I want to say also, J-Day. Do you know what J-Day is? It's Jay Holen's birthday. Happy birthday, Jay Holen. I hope your cake stays above ground. Amen.
All your cakes be grass-free.
And on a very, very serious note, we want to wish Christopher Buckley. We want to wish him very well in the next few days. Chris is going to be having a procedure done, and he's going to be known as Christine. No, I'm just kidding. But Chris, we want you to know. We want you to know that we and you're always a blackguard, no matter what anybody tells you. For life, you're one of us, and we love you like a brother, and we wish you the very, very best. You and Jenny and the kids, we're with you the whole way. We if we get their blessing, we're going to put a posting on all the social media. But just Chris Buckley, fiddler extraordinaire, be well, get well, and I hope this thing goes smooth as glass. And we love you. We can't wait to have you back. That said, how's everybody else? Everybody okay?
I can't hear out of my right ear, but other than that, I'm doing great. Thank you for asking.
Why would that be, Eric C. Hughes, on the drums?
I'm going to say it's possibly due to a gig that we may have had on Saturday night at Warehouse Live, where it was basically, we would have got a better sound check if there were zebras running the soundboard and a chihuahua doing the front of house.
That was about the most ridiculous stage experience I may have ever had. I've never been so embarrassed to be on a stage, to be staring out. I mean, the crowd was great. Listen, back up. Just a hats off to Jennifer, to Ted, to Zach, to the whole Drunken Monkey Privateer group. Man, just what an amazing, they did everything right. This is why we're so furious about this thing. They did everything right. Emails, and phone calls and texts and every fucking smoke signals. They sent message in a bottle. They did everything they fucking could. And what happened? They didn't read nor understand nor just do anything to help this fucking festival, which these guys have worked their fingers to the bone to put together. And like I said, my hat's off to that whole crew, because they work their ass off. But then we get to like Eric said, we get to the stage, and these guys don't know what fucking end the cables go in. They don't know where the cables go. They don't know how to work their fucking machines. Their monitors sounded like two monkeys fucking underwater. I don't know what that sounds like, but I'm fucking intrigued now. And just
it would sound better than what we heard. I mean, two monkeys fucking underwater would definitely sound better than what we heard through our monitors that night.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. And you know, go ahead, Chad.
I was going to say, it didn't help that the side fills, they were a nice idea, but they were fucking huge, and they were right in the same. I don't know if this is normal, but they were right in the same line as the monitors. So especially for me, I'm standing right next to one of them. They were so fucking loud. I had to keep asking them to turn it down, because I that's all I could hear was the fucking side fill.
Yeah. Do you want to keep the language down, Chad? You want to?
Yeah, Chad. What the fuck?
Sorry, kids.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah. I mean, just everything that could go wrong went wrong, just because. So we show up at an ungodly hour, meaning the sun was out. And we get there, we have the whole fucking day to kill, and we get on the stage and they go, we're not going to run any line. After we bring all our gear, they asked us to set it all up and bring it up, and then they don't even do a line check. So that's equivalent to getting on an airplane, going through all the security and the pat downs and the drug dogs and all that shit, getting onto the plane, having them turn off the AC, so leaving you sit on the tarmac for, hours and hours on end, taking you out to take off, and then bringing you back and telling you to fuck off and go home. That's equivalent to what this just the worst.
Yeah. And to insult to injury too, the fact that this club had practically begged them to bring the festival back after the first year because it was such a huge success. And they weren't prepared for it the first time. It was a little bit better. I mean, there was a completely different sound crew the first time. And the first time the sound crew did a great job. Was pretty much on top of it, as I recall. Yes. But they were undersupplied and the essential liqueur of choice for pirates the first time. But they swore up and down, like, we'll get it right next time. And so nothing went right this time. They were not prepared at all. Like, nothing was ready, as Patrick already said. All the requests and preparation that was done ahead of time was completely useless.
So they asked me to set the drums up in the back of the room, which is fine, to pre-stage them, obviously, because there was going to be dancing and other bands on stage, and that's totally fine. These fucking jackasses mic'd up all the drums way in the back corner, so then when it came time to move the drums, they had to unplug everything. I'm like, you got to work hard. Definitely they're working harder, not smarter on this thing, because, and then by the time we got set up, it was like, what's it sound like? I guess it's okay. And after the first song, it was like, we're all making adjustments to get through. And after the first vocal song, the first two songs, when my right ear got blown out, because I was like, I just need a little bit of vocal, and he cranked it up, and then I had to say, please turn it down, because it was just nothing on Patrick. It was just the sound guys just were. By the end of it, I was so deaf. I was like, I guess it sounds okay, and just kind of hoping that we could all hear each other at the same time.
Yeah,
I was surprised I didn't have just. Yeah, it would have been my right ear. I was surprised it didn't hurt more than it did.
I wore an earplug almost all day yesterday just to kind of protect it.
Ow. Yeah.
And then they came up to us afterwards and they were like, "Hey, can we borrow your bass drum?" And I was like, "Absolutely not." Why?
No.
Because the other band, the real headlining pros, fucking bass drum crapped out because it's an shitty electronic drum set. I mean,
is that a bass drum though? Is it?
No.
Is it?
Not at all.
No.
Not at all. It's
piece of plastic.
It's a place to rest your foot against when you're done stomping the floor, and all that stupid shit where it's like,
I want to play on stage with all my toys. Bring all my toys and put them on the stage. I want to play with my toys.
It was like somebody had dismantled the play sets from the He-Man toys as a kid and just rebuilt.
I don't know if Gore uses as much or Rammstein uses as much gear, but it's just, anyway, all that said, I just, I'm in a rock and roll band to play rock and roll and to you know to hopefully bring some happiness, around you, blah blah blah. But that day in particular was fucking beyond frustrating. I'd said on the stage, I forget who I was talking to, one of the drunken monkeys over. And I said, if you went and picked anybody out, they were trying to set our shit up, and I said, if you picked anybody out of the audience right now, anybody, if they're fucking lying face down in their own vomit, anybody, they would have done it better. They would have been able to work the gear better than the guys that work at the fucking warehouse live.
The one thing that I would say that actually worked well, I mean, a couple of things worked well. I thought that we played, despite the disadvantages and despite the challenging day, I thought that we played very well. And on a side note, as far as the staff of that place goes, whoever was doing the lights sort of had a good idea about what we were doing, because they were definitely, lights are moving at certain cues, and during the crazy parts, the lights were kind of going kind of crazy. So obviously they didn't know what songs we were playing, but whoever was doing the lights kind of had at least the finger on somebody's pulse about that.
Yeah, I think the guy who was running front of house must have been what I heard of the videos. It actually sounds pretty decent out front in the videos. It didn't sound as bad as it did on stage.
Michael Mullins kind of gave me a rundown on how he thought the sound went. Like,
what did he say?
He said, he used words like proscenium and stuff like that. So I was like, oh, I got to pay attention to this, because he's using all the correct words. Yeah. He was saying the first third of it, he said the stage is so small that the speakers are so spread out that it didn't sound as full as it did when you're about halfway in the room to 2/3 back to where the soundboard was. He said back there, it sounded awesome. It sounded great back there.
Okay.
So the front of house, once you get to a certain spot, he said it sounded fantastic, and he would know, because he's a front of house engineer, and he's worked with us before. He knows what we sound like. Yeah,
it was mainly, the fact that they didn't know how to run. I think they were trying to run our in-ears out of auxiliary outputs. There were like additional outputs. They didn't like unplug the monitor lines and replace them like they've done other places, which would have made more sense. But I know that when you're running sound for whatever it was, 5-6 different bands, that was that. And the most annoying thing is that they have us out on stage and say, all right, sorry, we're not going to sound check you. Or they didn't even say sorry. Completely wasting our time, as well as completely.
Why didn't we just show up at 6?
Cheating us. Exactly. There's no reason for us to be there all day, apart from setting up the merch tent.
Same exact outcome would have happened.
Yeah. I will say that the guy, I think maybe he wasn't fully trained on that board, but the guy who was running our mix is, he was having trouble with the volume and stuff, but he was very attentive. And I do appreciate that he was.
The guy back on the stage, that monitor guy?
Yeah, the guy was running our monitor mix.
He was attentive.
He was really cool.
Nice.
He was cool, even though
the fact that we couldn't run in-ears, but the headliners could.
I know. And they spent an hour sound checking. Yeah.
Well, that's the only reason why I'm pissed off about bringing my toys onto the stage, because it was every single fucking thing had to be on place with your iPads and your fucking you're a touring fucking band and your fucking bass player's on a fucking iPad. The fuck are you doing? Are you reading a novel? Are your intros as long as ours to where your bass player can sit down and read a fucking book during the fuck that? But when you take that whole fucking day to sound check and you still fucking mix it up, you're still not on point when you start the fucking show as a headliner, then you can fuck right off,
Yeah.
Touring band, my fucking ass.
Yeah.
We did 5 nights up on the Midwest, and our setup and teardown, if you combine them and you push them together, and it doesn't matter if we're at the Nania's back garden, carrying it all the way down, into that huge back garden, that you take all of our setup and teardown and, getting there, nothing took that fucking long. 5 nights in a row, mind you. Yeah, we didn't. Weston had our sound, so, but even still, that all combined, it was easier and smoother than those. Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah.
So anyway, and again, I just want to say, but just the Penlands did an amazing job, and they did everything that they could, and the opening bands, the Bilge Pumps and McRaven, Minstrel Raven,
Minstrel.
They did a great job on and off quickly. Knew their shit, did it. And I mean, as far as that goes. But then let's go to the sunny side of the street. Let's go into the merch room, and where Chris and Lori spent the whole fucking day. The whole day they got there before showtime, and they stayed after showtime, and they sold. We're nearly out of coffee. We're nearly out of. We have koozies now. Yeah. So they fucking killed it. They absolutely killed it. They always do, but this was exceptional because we get in there and again, no disrespect to the opening bands and to the other bands that were there, but their merch tents for one item or two items took up half the area for the, so that was a little perturbing. And, we have a lot of different things. And thanks to Revolution Printing, we had them all on time and ready to go. But so just Chris and Lori, they just did a tremendous job, and they always do. But that was exceptional because we went in long after the last band was on. We went in there, and Lori's eyes got really big. She goes, "You're not telling me to shut down? They're still buying." No. I said, "No, okay." I go, "Lads, abort, come back." She was just on fire. So, and we've also failed to mention too. We have brand new, never used, but you can't get them anywhere on earth. We have ECH drumsticks. We have now on sale. They're class. What do you got to say, ECH?
To be fair, they are Blaggards drumsticks. They are basically the logo you see behind Patrick's head with my initials attached. Designed by Chad and printed out by Vic Firth, the stick company. So they are for sale, and they're fun because what we can do if you buy a pair and you want us to sign them, we will sign your stick. I like stick. It. Yeah, good. Okay.
Yes. Cool. Chad, I cut you off. Do you remember what you were going to say?
No.
By the way, guys, I want to just say between the three of us, as far as the stick reimbursement goes from Blaggards, it's looking pretty grim right now. So.
Yeah, guess what? Nobody mentioned it. Whoops.
Awkward silence.
Yes. Daddy likes that. So I just, again, back to the I'm sorry, I keep jumping back, but I want to make sure that everybody knows that our crew that came with us up to Omaha were absolutely fantastic. We learned a lot. We had a great, just laughing nonstop. We had a great visit downtown Omaha, which I just never seen before. Just phenomenal. We are going to have in the very, very near future, we're going to have more of these tours. This was the guinea pig. This was the guinea pig ride. And we kind of learned what to do and what not to do and on and on and on. But we are going to we got some very, very cool things in the works as always. And that was just so much fun. Everybody that came out, we got to thank Jeff and Kim as well for the beer. They do a Blaggard brew. That's our coffee, but they do beer for every time that we come up to Omaha. So every time there's a house concert, and hail Satan, Eric, hail Satan. You sneezed, right? Okay. Every time we come up, they do a beer, and it's apparently out of this world. Chad.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Yeah. So he told me next time, he said, if we have a request for the next time, if there's a stout or something else that they can, give them enough heads up, we're going to have it. So just like I said, there's a reason why we love going to Omaha. There's a reason why we love going up the Midwest so much. It's just because every time we're up there, treated like royalty, and they're just it's beautiful. So
yeah. John and Sienna, I don't think we can give them enough credit for pulling that whole thing together. It was just amazing what they did, and they've always, every time we've done a house concert there, it's been a similar production, but this was going on for days this time. So it was I just every day I was just astounded at what they had pulled off, and it was very cool.
Yeah.
As
Yeah.
always.
Beyond grateful, beyond just lovely. Absolutely just a spectacular time. And looking forward to doing that again. So there will be many. We're going to do this quite a bit. So, but so we've kind of vented a little bit. We've done we got a big week coming up as far as so day after tomorrow, we're going to be in Austin.
Yep.
Where's that?
New venue.
Meanwhile Brewing Company.
Yeah.
So we're working with a sound guy that Eric has worked with before.
Professional.
Where did you run sound for you before?
Jamie used to work at the Continental Club in Austin for a number of years.
Yeah.
Then he went out with a band called Fits and the Tantrums, and he was their, I think, front of house sound engineer. But he's one of those guys that he's known throughout the country
really?
from being a great sound man and just a really great person.
Awesome.
And he's vegan as well.
Is he really?
He does it great.
But he can't be that great.
Oh yeah, no, he's cool. He's cool. He's looking forward to working with us too. So that's exciting. When the sound man's like, I can't wait to work with you guys. Mostly me. I mean, he wants to see me because I haven't seen him in a long time. So just saying.
Let's
put a marker here. Edit that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember what I was going to say now.
Come on.
With regards to sound guys, going back, rewinding back to our rant about the sound at the show on Saturday, it was even more frustrating because we'd had such a great time with Scott, who was running sound at also Michael did a great job too, and Weston as he always does. But Scott in Wichita, at a place where we'd had a bad sound experience before, having a great sound experience with Scott, and was like, man, this is effortless. I mean, whenever that happens, it just makes our job effortless, more or less. All we have to do is do what we do. We don't have to worry about any of the technical aspects of it. Beyond saying more of this, less of that, a couple of times.
Yeah.
That's what Saturday night should have been.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, I received a text the day after 2 days after the Wichita show from the owner of the club saying, man, what a great night. Thank you for coming. And, I wrote it back immediately. I said, hey, you're responsible for this great room. You gave us a time. We now have a full-time sound man. He said, anytime you're in town, I'm your band. The door guy said, anytime you're in town, I'm working the door. It was just, and of course, Jordan behind the bar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All good stuff.
Amazing. Yeah.
Totally.
And the whole crew at Weston.
Shit.
Yeah, the whole crew at Weston, same thing. We're treated like kings. There's red carpets all over the fucking place. They food and drink and stayed at the George and just, pristine setting. The downtown. If you haven't been to Weston, Missouri, kids, you're missing out. It's October is going to be the Irish Festival. If you want to come up, just so much. But like I said, I intended fully on being short-sighted and short-winded and short coming on this episode. But I want to get this up and out. But hats off to you guys for this has been a rough couple of weeks. We're learning how to get back in road shape, and we'll do it. And looking forward to Austin day after tomorrow, and mark your calendars, August 21st, the CD release party. We're going to have we have so many things in store for this night. If you're going to be within 8,000 miles of Houston, Texas on August 21st, I would suggest that you be at the Continental Club, 5100 Main. It's going to be a great night.
Oh, and this is a date that a lot of people have been waiting for. Blagmatic is going live this coming Sunday night at midnight, August 1st. So no, it's a Saturday night. The first is on a Sunday, right? So it'll be at midnight on Saturday. The Blagmatic will go live on Pandora, Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, Napster, whatever. Yeah, all those places. I know a lot of people have been waiting for that because a lot of people rely on those streaming services to provide them with their Blaggards fix. So that is where that is coming from.
Excellent.
And again, you can buy the album right now. You don't have to wait till August 1st. You can buy it on Blaggards.com. Download it immediately, whether you're buying a CD or just the download.
Right on.
Excellent. So yeah. So anyway, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. Thanks for let's do it. Let's do it again. Same time, same place next Tuesday. SlapperCast, episode 130.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right. See you, kids.
Thanks for being here. See y'all.
Bye.